will come a time in your life as a person that laziness will set in. Comes a time in your life that you'll be weak. What you do at that point can rewrite your destiny forever. And that is why you must be very careful as a child of God. When you begin to notice certain weaknesses and laziness, it can abort your prophetic word. And when you are weak and when you are lazy, you tend to slumber. What you do at that point of your weakness and laziness can write your history forever. The danger of spiritual laziness, number one danger indoors, it causes a negative spiritual entering point. What is a negative spiritual entering point? A negative spiritual point is where access is given to go in and to come out. Spiritual negative entering point, it means you give an access by the reason of your weakness and laziness, and because you were not spiritually smart and revived enough, a negative access point was open and there was a demonic invasion. Do you know, child of God, that David brought death to Israel by that act he did with Bathsheba, and by that act David brought judgment to his family. He brought judgment to Israel. Why? David opened the door, he gave an access. There was an illegal entry point spiritually that invaded the camp of Israel. Daniel 1:8, food. Number 2 is food. Look at it. How can food become negative? Look, Daniel 1:8. Look at what Daniel did. Look at it. But Daniel proposed in his heart that will not divide himself with the portion of king's meat and with the wine which he drank. Therefore, he requested of the prince of the union that he might not divide himself. Now, the undertone of that meal was dedicated to a god, and anyone that partake in that meal will be contaminated, because why? That food was dedicated to a god. So food can become a contamination and deposit. So when Daniel knew that the preparation, the celebration, the feasting was not just because the king is feasting, the feasting was a dedication to a god. And then, if I dare eat this food, I will contaminate what? Myself. There are some food you stay clear from. Or 3. Somebody say music. Now I'm going to put music and film together. Now, music and film is the most commonest thing that the devil uses in putting negative deposit in life of our children, life of our spouse, life of the church, life of the family. Music is also a tool whereby the devil uses in putting negative deposit. Daniel chapter 3, can you read verse 2, 3, and 5 to 10 and 13 and 15? I will be breaking it down. Look at it.
Daniel chapter 3 verse 2.
Listen to this. And Nebuchadnezzar the king
sent to gather together the princes, the governors,
yes,
and the captains.
Listen, oh,
the judges,
yes,
the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs.
Look at leaders that was involved in this contamination and negative deposits,
and all the rulers of the provinces,
and all everybody in the city together,
to come to the dedication
of
the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up.
Now look at the instruction now.
Then the princes,
yes,
the governors, and captains, the judges,
yes,
the treasurers,
yes,
the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up.
Hold on, sir. Remember, I told you that deposit has no respect for boundary, no background, no height, no status, no qualification. Anybody, whether you are a pastor, you are an apostle, you can be, they can negative deposit in your life if you do not handle it spiritually.
And they stood before the image that has set up.
Okay.
Verse 5. That at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet.
Look at where the problem stands from now. Flutes, harps,
sackbut, psalteries, dulcimer, and all the kinds of music.
And all the kinds of what? Music. Stop.
You fall.
Or what? All the kinds of music. Now, can I ask a question? What was the reason for the music? The music was dedicated to Dagon, the god that Nebuchadnezzar do what? Has a throne. Finish it. Finish the reading. Let me round up.
You fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up.
There are some music you listening to, that the music is dedicated to goddess of the river. That the music, Nebuchadnezzar gave an instruction. At the time you hear flute, sound, all kinds of music, you should bow. So that music was dedicated to a particular god. So if you respond to that music, your spirit man is what? Contaminated. When Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who had the spiritual understanding of the contamination of the music, they said to the king, we will not listen and bow to that song. And so when Nebuchadnezzar gave that order, he knew that if everybody bowed to that song, they will be under the spell of the gods. Themes. Somebody say theme. There are some good themes and there are some demonic wired themes.